Hello guys, this is Kieran here, and I will do a tutorial over Dungeons & Dragons. And my piece today will be the green guy over here. If you don't know, he would be Kieran. First thing you'll need is a set of dice. As you can see here, you'll need, if you're going to be the player, you're going to need first Dungeons & Dragons player handbook, and then you'll need a DM, or if you're going to play by yourself, just make up some random adventure and make sure you keep it down. You'll need pencil and paper and a 1x1 square grid to keep track of your visual combat. The game is not just revolved around combat, it is also revolved around your skills, as thievery, stealth, all that fun stuff, language checks as well. I will go over some of the visual here today. Now, from where I'm at to this white figure right here, if I was using my longbow, I would still have a good advantage over him since he's within 20 space and I won't lose a 2 attack penalty. So if you're going to attack, you're going to need the 20-sided die. The one that you can get from pretty much almost any role-playing game. Then you would roll one and your DM will roll one for the creature's defense you are attacking, or vice versa if it's the other way around. And depending if you're using a skill or your weapon, like for my longbow, I would use my D10 right here. There'll be one that you would rarely ever see, along with the D4 and the D12. But if you're more of a melee, you would have to get up close within one space, you have to be adjacent. Or if you're sneaking around and you're from behind, you would get a combat advantage, which gives you a +2 to your attack roll and your damage roll. Now there's a difference between an attack and damage. If you successfully hit on an attack, then you roll to deal damage, unless if it's an ability. As you can see from the red guy right here, there's no space here, and I can't see him. That means you can't attack him, even though you know he'd be there. Sometimes the DM can call a surprise attack on either you or the enemies, which would grant you a combat bonus, and that is pretty much the basics for attack. Now, if you would be doing a challenge, if you can see the markings on the floor, I'll help with that. The markings on the floor right where I'm on, within this space, your DM could say it could be a helpful piece of the puzzle or anything. As in one of my dungeon adventures, it would have been a ghost trapped within that spot. You would either have to do a challenge, a puzzle, or combat, depending on who it was exactly. Depending on who your DM is and depending on how you use your character to play the game, it will become a great adventure. Like with one of my former adventurers, Samash, he and I would be going through dungeons together. Now I would go on to the map pieces. If you go and buy tiles like this, they're reversible, and so is dungeon tiles. And hold on. Okay, I'm back. Sorry for that. But you can also just have regular paper. You can just draw it out. Probably save you a few more dollars if you get it laminated after that. If you would do that. And as you can see here, I'm not using figurines, I am just using other game pieces. You can use change or anything just to help you save money or anything. And I think that covers visual for now. Now it's time to get on with races and classes. In the first book of 4th edition, there are a few races. I think there's a total of 8 races. Yes, a total of 8 races. Dragonborn, Dwarf, Eldarin, Elf, Half-Elf, Halfling, Human, and Tiefling. Each one gets their own powers or own advantage. Now, me, personally, I'd be playing as a Dragonborn, since I am more interested in dragons than anything else. As you can see, right here, this is an encounter bonus to your attack or anything. You can use it to your advantage, or if you play as a dwarf, you get a bonus, either a stronger bonus to something like your save and throw, which can prevent your character from dying and making you create a whole new one. And Phase Step for Eldarin, that can teleport you within space. If you're an archer or going to be something like a ranger that uses ranged weapons, I would most likely go with Elf, even though I am a ranger dragonborn. As it is role-playing, so you can pick anything you want. Half-elves just get a bonus to Constitution and really another language, since they learn 3. Halflings are smaller, but yet the only bad thing about being a small race, you can't have two-handed weapons or weapons that you would have to use 2 hands. Like a short sword would be one-handed for them, but a long sword would be more of a great sword. Human, they just get a bonus to any ability score or 1 ability score. And Tiefling, they have a more of a dark side to them, but you can still be a lawful good or a good. I'll explain that later in another video. Classes, it really depends on what you want to be. There's a whole bunch in here. As you can see, the Cleric. That will run on your Divine, which is anyone you follow. Paladin would be a Defender. Ranger would be a Striker. Now, I'm not going to go through all of them, just the ones I will be passing by. If you comment below, I'll go into the description of each one individually if you want to. Rogue, more of a thief type. Yeah, that's all the classes for now. Now, skills depends on what you're going to be doing. If you're trying to get out of trouble, just use your diplomacy or anything, which will depend on your die roll of the D20, again, most common. And pretty much the rest of these right here, the other 6, are for combat. If you use a flail or something, it'd be better if you had multiple dice. Like, for example, buy 2 or 3 of these and you'll be good. Extra dice never hurts. Because if you use a flail, you need 2 D4s, which kind of gives you an advantage over any die, because at the least you can get 2. I think that'll cover Dungeons & Dragons for today. Comment, subscribe, become an adventurer today. Thank you.